Doing guys, all Leeds TV. How are we doing guys? All Leeds TV, Transfer Tuesdays. KIKO CASILLA, let's just get straight on with that. KIKO CASILLA, the great KIKO CASILLA. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating a bit saying the great KIKO CASILLA, but oh my word, I mean, we've been linked with someone as good as that. You know, I mean, played 17 games last season for Real, 19 the season before. For the European champions we're talking about here, the European champions. I've got your comments. Once again, filming from the conservatory, it's easiest on the live videos and that lot. Let us know if there's any problems with the sound, any sort of technical issues, let us know in the comments down below, because I've got the comments right in front of me here. I'm going to be going through your comments as I go along, but it's just going to be a general chat, like Conor's last week, a general chat of transfers and who's looking, what the rumours are. You know, and that's the main one, isn't it, really, KIKO CASILLA. I mean, wow, for so many reasons this is a good signing. The guy's 32 now. He's got experience. He's played for top teams. This Espanyol, Real Madrid. He's been linked with. he's been linked with the Spanish national team as well. He's made one cap for Spain, but with people like David De Gea, KIKO CASILLA, so there's no shame in not playing up the games, for Spain. But I mean, wow, it'd be unbelievable. But I think the main thing is his ability on the ball. I think that's what really appeals as well. I think that's a massive part of the Marcelo Bielsa style of play. Look at the keepers Marcelo Bielsa worked with: Steve Mandanda, Claudio Bravo. Gone off the top of my head now. Claudio Bravo. People like Sergio Romero. Just trying to think of the Argentine keeper was around the time. Head's gone, but he's worked with some fantastic goalkeepers. And the main thing is all ball-playing goalkeepers as well. And I think that's the, I know Demar Facey just said then, keepers, but that is the main thing really. I think that's the main weakness we've had. I don't want to have a go at Bailey Peacock-Farrell. He's done well in the circumstances, but in a situation like this, where we are on the table, I think the experience is important. We've got great respect for what he's done in his career. I mean, he's won the Champions League in the last 3 seasons, and he's been linked with us, and I believe he was in the Real Madrid squad on Sunday as well. But yeah, let us know in the comments down below. I've seen a lot of response to it. It's not actually been confirmed as of yet. It would be very sort of Leeds for this to be a massive sort of rumour builder and not go through. But for me, I mean, it's just incredible. I mean, to be linked with someone like that. And let's just go through his honours. What KIKO CASILLA has won. I've got his page right in front of me here. What KIKO CASILLA has won in his career. He's won the Liga. He's won the Supercopa. He's won the Champions League for 3 seasons, won 2 Super Cups, and he's won 3 FIFA Club World Cups. This isn't someone who's just sat on the bench, sat on his arse on the bench and got splinters. He's actually played games in this. He's played, how many games did he play? 5 games last season in the Champions League. He was thrown in at the deep end in the Champions League. They trusted him that much. Played 6 games the season before that. And at times, he was displacing Keylor Navas from the Real Madrid team. And I think a lot's been made as well. I've seen that, he's not played a game for Real Madrid this season, he's passed it, it's just a big name signing. But you've got to remember, Real have got Keylor Navas, sorry, my pronunciation's gone, and Thibaut Courtois as well. They've spent, I think, 50 million on Thibaut Courtois. There is not a chance they are not going to play Thibaut Courtois, so I don't think we can read too much into that either. And he's had experience with the number 1 as well at Espanyol. He really impressed at Espanyol. I mean, he's a bit of a late bloomer, but he's had a really impressive career as well. He's played so many games. He's established. Guillem Balaguer said he's one of the top 5 Spanish goalkeepers out there, and that's high praise. You've got Kepa Arrizabalaga, David De Gea. There's a lot of good Spanish goalkeepers out there, and to be in that top 5, I'd say fantastic. And there's debate about when this is going to go through, and I'm hoping it does go through before Stoke. I'm going to go through some comments now, but I'm not sure what you guys think. For me, I think maybe it is a bit harsh with Bailey Peacock-Farrell taking him out after a clean sheet. But in a game like that against Stoke, when Stoke, Nathan Jones just got the job, they're going to try and play football against us, and we need to maintain possession. I think we're going to have a bit of a challenge possession-wise against Stoke. I think Nathan Jones' teams, new manager there, tries to play football. It's going to be a little bit more challenging. We're going to have less of the ball than we used to. So I think maybe we do need that ball-playing goalkeeper there to start the moves, to break that Stoke press, because Stoke are going to come at us. It's the first home game under the new manager. Had a poor result in the first game against Brentford. You're going to be pressing us out of the pitch. You need someone that composure. And KIKO CASILLA can do that. He can break the press. He can just play that pass to Calvin Phillips in one touch. He can play that pass out wide You know, he's got all that. He's got all that armoury about him. You know, he's got a range of different skills, and you know, it's a bit of a cliche that being a good ball playing goalkeeper is massively important, but it is. You know, look at Man City, look at Liverpool. You know, Ederson, Alisson, two top quality goalkeepers. Maybe in this league, it's less important. The margins are, you know, it's not really decided by things like that. But for me, it's a massive advantage. You know, I think you look at Fulham last season, you have Marcus Bettinelli in there, someone who's composed on the ball. You know, and I think that's important. You know, having that bit more composure, a bit more experience. And you look at that back four we could potentially play. You know, and this is just the first choice potential back four. You know, KIKO, Casilla, Luke Ayling, Pontus Janssen, Liam Cooper, Barry Douglas. Then you've got people like Katana Berardi, Alioski is an option at left back. That is a really, really top defence. And you need a top defence, you need a top goalkeeper to win the league for me. You know, I think, yes, we're top of the table now, but I'm glad we reacted to the problem early. You know, think how much Bailey Peacock-Farrell's going to learn from someone like KIKO Casilla as well. You know, he's gone from playing with people like Felix Weidvold, Andy Lonergan, no disrespect to them, to playing with someone like KIKO Casilla. If this goes through, by the way, you know, maybe I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, you know, still. Yeah, I was going to maybe make the title KIKO Casilla signs, but no, it's not gone through yet. Let's just wait and see if it goes through. You know, it's a big signing, there's a lot that could go wrong. Let's just see if we get it through, but how much is he going to learn from him? So I'm just going to go through the comments then, the initial comments we've had in the first sort of 5 minutes of the video. Let's go to the top. So, Will Hartley, what a sign this will be, 100%. George Hanks, what if he's rubbish? I mean, look, there's a risk with any player that it's not going to work. You know, you see so many high-profile signings made, but for me, I'm looking at the guy, the experience he's had. You know, the high-pressure situations he's been thrown into. He's been thrown into Champions League quarter-finals, Champions League knockout games, important league games. He's been trusted by people like Zinedine Zidane, trying to think, Rafa Benitez. Julian Lopetegui as well. You know, top managers, you know, have trusted in this guy. You know, and I trust Marcelo Bielsa will have done a lot of analysis on him. You know, if this is the right type of signing. You know, he's sort of in a different demographic to the rest of the squad. You know, if he's 32, he's probably going to be our oldest player by some distance. You know, our oldest starting player by some distance, by at least 2 or 3 years. So yeah, it's a completely different demographic that gives that experience. You know, all good teams have a top quality goalkeeper, and there is a risk he might make a couple of mistakes. But for me, what you also get is the ball playing ability as well. I think that's something we're almost guaranteed to get. You know, if you can break through teams like Barcelona and that lot, you should be able to do it in the Championship. But you never know. There's always that risk with signings. But for me, I'm a lot happier with this than some of the other goalkeepers we were linked with as well. So, let's see other comments. I'd one off Jonathan Roper. Come on, fill me cracking. Still can't believe Wainman fell for that. Absolutely unreal. But yeah, great moment off Jaggy Babs as well. That was just top. That was just top quality. That, I mean, I was watching that live. It's like, my word, Wainman, man. But it's one of them. To be fair, I'd have fallen for that as well. You know, I'm probably the first person to fall for something like that. I could even say I wouldn't have fallen for that, but I would have 100% fallen for that. Quality off Jackie Babs, quality off Wainman, great banter. So, that's what we want at All Leeds TV, banter. Ollie123, what do you think of KIKO? I mean, you're looking at 3 different things here of KIKO: ball playing ability, decisiveness off his line quickly, and shot stopping as well. You know, his shot stopping isn't maybe getting that much praise. You know, I think it's maybe more his ball playing ability, but he's got that ability. He's got that shot stopping ability. You know, he's a top player. I keep emphasising that as well. Marcus May, can't wait for the Casilla signing to be confirmed and done. I mean, it is going to be good. You know, if we can get it over the line. The priority is hopefully we can get it over the line tomorrow or Thursday. You know, obviously Friday, if we're getting over the line then, he's probably not going to play that first game against Stoke. You know, and that's the real test, isn't it? You know, the cold, wet, wintry day in Stoke. You know, it's a massive test for him. You know, it'll be different. You know, comparing to some of the places he's played this season and in his career as well. But you know, it's massive. You know, it's massive if we can get that one through. And it's a big boost as well from the Stoke game. You know, we're already on high after the derby. You know, it'll be a massive boost. That'd be a massive boost. I'm just going to shout out as well got 164 people watching now. If you've come from the Talking Short podcast, another absolutely quality podcast off the guys again, discussing transfers, discussing pretty much everything, discussing Spygate. Something I'm surprised I've not seen in the comments so far, and I'm going to touch a little bit on this, on Spygate, my sort of views on it. But if you come from Talking Short, and if you haven't watched Talking Short this week, make sure you watch Talking Short. The link will be in the description once this video is done. Make sure you check out the guys this week. And they've had some top quality guests over the last couple of weeks as well, and some top quality guests coming up as well, including the Leeds TV lot as well, which in 2 weeks, I think. 2 weeks, I think, yeah. So let's go through more discussion here. Nathan Gaskell, proven keeper, played in a few Champions League games. Absolutely, the proven bit's important. I think I don't want us to be piss about with a goalkeeper as such. I want us to get that experience, and that is what suits. I was a little bit critical at the start of the season when we had Jamal Blackman and Baby Farrell as our two keepers, because both are sort of the same demographics, both young goalkeepers who haven't played many games, and what happened wasn't ideal. Obviously Jamal Blackman got injured. I'm not saying Jamal Blackman's a bad goalkeeper. From what I saw of Jamal Blackman, he looked like a good shot stopper. He looked like someone who's going to have a big career in football. He was going to be a potential Premier League top keeper. For me, it's obviously it's unfortunate he got that injury. I loved his attitude. His attitude was really good. I'm gutted it didn't work out for him, but you have to look at him and say, at the start of the season we had two young goalkeepers, and if one of them makes a mistake and another one comes in, there was no real number one between them for me. I don't think there was a massive difference between the two. But I think with KIKO Casilla, he is sort of probably the player for the next 18 months or so, until maybe 34, 35. You can imagine what Bailey Peacock-Farrell will learn off him. If we decide Bailey Peacock-Farrell's not good enough, we've got Will Huffer as an option. I think just a little bit more clever off us. We can learn that style of play a little bit quicker. Because to go for him, probably the way Bailey Peacock-Farrell was sort of brought up was probably not the same way KIKO Casilla was brought up. And KIKO Casilla is in the same line as a Marcelo Bielsa type of keeper. Ball playing, comfortable going out of his box, and just wants to just play that ball. Has that composure. If someone's pressing him, he does not care. He doesn't care. He doesn't pay any attention to him. He just keeps the ball. He keeps the things ticking over, and that's so important in this team when we try and play out the back. James Elder, Casilla has an 80 rating of FIFA, by the way. I've heard this and seen this. I don't play loads of FIFA. I've certainly not this year's FIFA. I've not played loads of, but I am aware of him on FIFA. I've signed him on loan a couple of times when I've been on the manager mode in FIFA. I'm probably going to go purely off that, but that's promising, isn't it? For what I didn't actually realise it was as high as 80. I thought it was high 70s, but there you go. It's respected as well. He's got that respect, and I think you look at it and say, I'm not going to debate how much KIKO Casilla has earned in a week. The one thing that maybe slightly worry me a little bit is, if you say KIKO Casilla is on probably twice as much at Real Madrid as probably what our highest earner is on, it's all ifs and buts and maybes. But if he goes into that dressing room, in the team that's top of the table, doing absolutely fantastically well, 4 points clear at the top, he goes into that dressing room earning twice as much a week and just sort of waltzing in. I'd like to think it wouldn't happen, but it has happened at other football clubs. See at Fulham, they've made massive differences in that lot. But I'd like to think that there wouldn't be a sort of a problem there, an atmosphere. You do worry about that a little bit, and that's just me being a negative twat, to be honest with you. There's always, as Joe Wainman says, there's always negative from me and Conor. We do always have, even someone like KIKO Casilla, there's a tiny bit of doubt on that element of things, but you'd like to think KIKO Casilla is a professional. He's not going to be like an arrogant kind of player, but let's wait and see. Right, let's have a look here. I've just seen someone called Oscar in the comments. Absolutely top man, absolutely top guy. I'm actually made up about that. Oscar Peel, I will be reading your comment in 1 second. As soon as I see an Oscar flash up in the comments, I'm happy straight away. A few mentions of Montero and Daniel James as well. We're going to get onto those two as well. They're the other two sort of concrete rumours we have at the minute. So, let's have a look. Demar Facey, KIKO's wife is following Leeds, could be a sign. Yeah, it has to be. It's a very sort of 21st century way of looking at things. That's one of the first things to look at. Is he following us on Twitter? Is someone following someone else on Twitter? But yeah, it's a fair point, isn't it? It's it's a good omen. Let's wait and see. Some of these comments, man. Let's just say there's excitement about KIKO Garcia. Hejan Jinam, KIKO Garcia gives me a boner. I mean, how can he not? Kind of thing. I mean, what a signing that. Wow. KIKO is coming to Leeds in the next 24 hours for a medical, going to Harry McKenny. Hopefully, if we get it done in the next 24 hours, he can hopefully play against Stoke, which will be a big boost. I think it will be a big, massive. You turn up to something like Stoke, with a Champions League winning goalkeeper, a recent Champions League winning goalkeeper. I know it's not all about the big names and that, but it's just such a. When you see someone like that, the presence as well, and it's just massive for me. Dave Gallia, we need to keep Clark. I have to agree with that. I mean, what a performance that was of Jack Clark. I mean, it's got to be up there with some of the best young performances I've seen off young players from the academy. It always goes back to Lewis Cook against Wolves a couple of years ago at home. An absolutely incredible performance. Pretty much Lewis Cook and Alex Mowat in any game from 2014 2015, from the second half of 2014 2015. So, yeah, I'd have to rate it up there. Fabian Delph as well. It has to be well up there, that performance. James Milner against Sunderland, James Milner against Chelsea. It has to be up there, in terms of top quality performances, because he made both goals. It was such a good performance. I think he probably beat his fullback 6 or 7 times in one game. And it's rare to see that at this level. It's rare to see such a brave player on the ball. And I thought it was a really, really, really good performance. And we've got to keep him. But I personally don't think there's any risk of losing Jack Clark. I might come back to regret this, but I think for now there's no risk of losing Jack Clark. If we don't go up and there's Premier League interest in the summer, we could lose him. Let's be honest here. We're looking at a top player. You're looking at Man City. Have lost people like Brahim Diaz. They're going to want to replace him. He's going to be someone who's of interest. He's going to be someone from the Championship, and probably not going to pay as high a fee as they would for someone from a from a Champions League club as such, or a Premier League club. The fee won't be as much. There will be interest. It's probably interest now, but we aren't going to sell Jack Clark. For me, I can't see it. I'd be incredibly disappointed if we did sell him. But let's wait and see. Harry McKenny, we spy when we want. I'm going to get onto that. I'm going to get onto that. It's incredible what's developing in that story. It's something out of nothing for me, and it's typical really. But I'm going to get onto that later on as well. Remind me in the comments if I don't, but please remind me if I don't. But yeah, I've seen Doran Tour there as well. Nottingham Forest vlogger. Make sure you check him out. Top guy. Vlogs some Forest games. Make sure you check him out. So Doran Tour. I've seen him on the comments quite a lot on the live videos. How are you doing, mate? Hope it's going well. Doran Tour. Make sure you check him out. A couple of comments on the potential situation with Jack Clark, the potential situation with the points deduction. We'll get onto all this. A couple of mentions of Daniel James as well. Andrew O'Connor, I think we'll hit 007 past someone this season. Rob Brookie, Clark is the new Alan Smith, big time. I've seen a couple of comments on that. I think Alan Smith is a little bit before my time. I don't really. Towards the back end of his time at Leeds, I remember Alan Smith, but he's a little bit before my time. But wow, if you even get half the natural ability of Alan Smith, you're going to be a top player. Let's wait and see. I don't want to put too much pressure on the lad. I think they're slightly different players as well. Jack Clark looks more suited to playing out wide. He's got a little bit more skill, I'd say, than Alan Smith. Alan Smith, was just the ultimate kind of forward player in that kind of sense. But it's a big praise that as well. So let's see other comments. And 8563 Robbie, Clark isn't the new Alan Smith, he's the new Alan Clark. If he gets even a quarter of the career of an Alan Clark, a Leeds career of Alan Clark, I think we'll all be happy. Let's wait and see. that's an interesting one there. True Motions. Oscar, how did you become a Leeds fan being from Stockport? I'm not actually from Stockport. I'm from Southport. But it's a long story. Long story. Pretty boring story. Basically, let's just get on with this. My granddad was a joiner. He did work at Gary Sprake's house in the late 60s. Gary Sprake signed a couple of things for my dad, sent the stuff over to my dad. But from a family of pretty much Evertonians and occasional Man City and Liverpool fans. So there's not many Leeds fans in my family. I don't think I've got any family from Leeds. So it's quite a long story from that point of view. But yeah, basically my dad became a Leeds fan after he got stuff sent over to him from Gary Sprake, late 60s. And to be honest, I just got the buzz straight away, at Leeds. It's just coming back. When I started supporting Leeds, it was just when things started to go wrong, to be honest with you. I think, the first game wasn't actually till 2005, again, Brighton, 3-3 draw. Most games saw on TV and that lot, but the first proper season was probably around 2005, 2006, when we made the Championship playoff final against Watford. I don't want to think back to that. I remember as a 10-year-old, sorry, 9 actually, I was 9, when we lost that game to Watford. The next season, when it was proper going quite regularly, 2006, 2007, and we went down, and it was Dennis Wise. It was the Dennis Wise era, and it's like, again, don't really want to go back to that. What a season that was, eh? I think we went through 4 different managers. People like Alan Wright, Seb Carroll, Kevin Nichols. I mean, it's getting a bit boring this, but yeah, that was the first couple of seasons. Started watching us on the high, and it just went, woo. It went like, whoa, down like that. It was just like ridiculous. And then obviously there's the high of the League One 09-10 season. Simon Grayson is pretty much my hero, to be honest with you. I think that's a lot of the older fans will probably say you're absolutely mad, but for most people around my age younger, he's probably the best we've had. I think obviously Marcelo Bielsa is very close to those kind of levels, but yeah, that's pretty much that story. But I am not from Stockport, I can confirm. I'm from Southport, Merseyside. There we go. My last game at Ellen Road was Leeds versus Cardiff. We lost 2006. I think I remember that game. Last minute winner. Peter Ridsdale celebrated in the director's box. And to be fair, it's probably one of the only good things Ken Bates ever did at Leeds was chucking him out. That was the only thing I can remember that from that game. I think I might be right in saying it was that game. It would have been around that time, I think. I'll have to look it up afterwards, but I remember that game. Lost in the last minute. Peter Ridsdale goes celebrating in the director's box. Absolute twat of a man. There we go, we lost that game. Right, so let's go through this. A True Motion, sorry mates, I knew it was something Esport. Fair enough. I've been to Stockport a couple of times. I've actually watched Leeds at Stockport. It's actually a good away day. That was the League One days. That was prime League One days. That as well. And I was also going to mention as well. Tomorrow we've got hopefully an All Leeds TV Investigate going out, and it's going to go into profiling that 09-10 season. We've got the legend of a man, assistant manager, former Leeds player, former Leeds legend, Leeds fan, Leeds lad, Glenn Snowden as well, giving some commentary on that sort of time as well. I've got Tasha Gooden as well has commented too. Oh, where's my shout out? I must have missed that in the comments. I apologise, Tash. I apologise. Tash is our editor as well and is working on a brilliant documentary as well. 100 Years of Loving Leeds. I think it's going to be the title anyway. Got some absolute legends coming up on that as well. And I'll do a link as well to the tweet as well. We want to know your first game at Leeds. What was your first ever experience at Leeds? Make sure you can even comment in here, to be honest with you. I'll read it out. I don't even want to go back to how when I first started supporting Leeds. People like Dennis Wise, Gwyn Williams. I don't even want to go back to that. No, fuck's sake. I'm not even going to talk about that. Claudio, she doesn't deserve a shout out. Claudio does the thumbnails, also does a bit of editing as well on channel. Isn't it a cheeky mood today? He's just, I don't know, he's just a madman, to be honest with you. He's a madman. He's probably the only person I've ever known born in Bradford called Claudio. That's all I'm going to say. He is actually from Bradford. I'm still convinced he is part Italian, but I don't know. Let's wait and see. I'm sure he's going to comment in the comments down below. Jake Rousel, actually, this is a game I remember. My first game, Leeds 0, Cardiff 4, a few years ago. What a day! I remember that as well. In fact, no, to be fair, that day completely turned around our season in 10-11. It was a horrendous day. It was one of the worst performances I think I've seen. Craig Bellamy, we started doing keepy-uppies, and on the halfway line, I remember with like 20 minutes to go when we were 4 down. But Claudio, only person you know, Claudio, never minded Bradford. I mean, that's a fair point as well. That's fair. You know, hopefully we might even get Claudio on the channel. We want clouds on the channel. Hashtag clouds on the channel. But yeah, that Leeds 0, Cardiff 4. I mean, it was a horrendous day, but we completely, utterly turned it around. I think we were on a 15-game unbeaten run as well. Again, the Simon Grayson era. We had a bad defeat, but we responded as we always do. But let's just get on to the next comments as well. So let's get on to Dan James actually. And I've got to be honest, there's a lot of enthusiasm for this signing, but for me, I might be a bit controversial here. I don't want us to make that type of signing. You know, I think at this stage of the season, I'm not saying Dan James isn't a bad player, but we've got people like Jack Clarke at this football club. You know, who's to say Dan James is a better player than Jack Clarke? You know, what evidence do we have of that? You know, go through Dan James' stats. I just got him up. 1 goal, 4 assists in 16 games. It's okay. You know, I've not seen much of him, but who's to say Dan James is a better player than Jack Clarke? They're pretty much playing in the same position. For me, I'd rather we stuck with the players we already have at the football club. We're already integrated into the style of play. You know, already trained to the style of play. You know, under Carlos Cobaran, etc., etc. Playing some of the 23s and that lot, and used to the style of play. Because the way Swansea play now are totally different. You know, we need to, as Not Applicable says, we need to grow someone from the academy again. And for me, bringing in someone like Dan James is only going to restrict us. For some reason in the comments, I just noticed we're talking about Joe's beard and if he strokes it or not. I don't actually know. No, I don't think I have actually. No, I don't think I have. But yeah, there we go. What was it anyway? Dan James. So. Yeah, for me, it's a risky one. It's a silly risk. But I mean, what's going on in this comments? I'm not going to really respond to any of this at the minute. You know, it's just talking about Joe's beard. But yeah, anyway, why would we take that risk? You know, there's no guarantee. Who's to say he's going to do better than Jack Clarke, for example, or any other winger who we're going to grow at the football club? And it's in this stage of the season as well. In the middle of the season. You never know how it's going to go with a young player. Jared Bowen's been mentioned. Jared Bowen, I'd much prefer. He's got experience at championship level, and he looks like he can play anywhere, you know, as well. You know, I think he's got aspect to his game. He's a regular at his club as well. I prefer that kind of signing. But for me, it's silly. You know, it's a silly risk to take. We don't know what we're going to get. Gary Keys, cheese mate. When's that cough going to go? Must be cold there. Beats from these two. Honestly, this cough will just not fuck off, honestly. It will not piss off. It's just fucking, every time I think it's gone, it comes back again. It's just pissing me off, to be honest with you now. But there we go. But yeah, it's a risk. Why do we take that risk? Why would we take that risk for me? It's just, you know, you look at the other potential kind of signs we can make. I just don't see, you know, in the middle of the season as well as a risky one. You know, if it goes wrong, it could completely and utterly derail the season. If you may do that kind of sign in the summer and it goes wrong, you can make the change in the January. But doing it in January, you've got to be absolutely certain for me, with any January signing, what you're going to get. And for me, I'm not certain what we're going to get with someone like, I'm not certain what we're going to get off this kind of player, off Dan James. So, yeah, let us know in the comments down below. A couple of people agree. He's been mentioned that he plays on the left. To be fair, I like it controversially. I prefer Jack Clarke on the left. I think he's a bigger goal threat on the left. What's great about Jack Clarke is he can play on any wing. Can Dan James play on both sides? Not for me. No, I'm not going to say. Gary Keith, Monk is a twat for his comments about Spygate. I'm not sure what comments he's made about Spygate. I'm not sure on that. I'm not sure what comments he's made. I don't know. It's just getting boring now, isn't it, Spygate? I mean, it's just incredible how it's still going on. The amount of top managers have said it goes on all the time. And then we've got it's just boring, isn't it? Really. But and Demar Facey said he could be another Jack Clark, though you never know, Oscar. I mean, that is true. I'd rather just develop Jack Clark. You know, I'd rather spend money somewhere else, bringing that experienced winger if we need one. Which brings me on to the next winger we're being linked with, also from Swansea. But this hasn't actually come from the YEP. This has come from Wales Online, sort of the equivalent for Swansea, what Swansea is to Leeds and the YEP and that lot. But yeah, I mean, next one is Jefferson Montero. I mean, Jefferson Montero is probably the most inconsistent footballer I've ever seen. On his day, he's a top player. He's probably a top 6, top 7 quality type of winger. That cough's come back. That cough has come back. But are you going to get that off Jefferson Montero? You know, are we getting that guaranteed? You know, and it's a risk again for me. It's not one I'm keen on. You know, look at Jefferson Montero this season. He can't get in the Swansea team that regularly. If he was that good, that consistent, that sort of like a promising player, why has he only played 11 times for Swansea this season and got 2 assists? So you got to look at it from that point of view as well. Andrew O'Connor, a packet of Fisherman's Friends will sort out any cough or sore throat. I shall try that, Andrew. I'm going to try that. You know, I'm getting bored of this now. I'm going to try pretty much anything to just get rid of this cough. We'll probably be in the Premier League before we get rid of this cough. Well, here's hoping anyway. But yeah, I mean, for me, I'm not keen on that Jefferson Montero. If I'm being totally honest, if we're bringing in a winger, I want someone in from the Premier League. If I'm being honest, I want someone, even if it's on loan, you know, someone like a Knockout. You know, he's not getting much game time at Brighton. Possibly even from Huddersfield. You can look at Huddersfield's situation. We could get players from Huddersfield for me. You know, you look at Elias Kachunga, we're playing that right hand side. You know, look at someone like that. You know, he sort of gets the style of play, championship experience. It's delivered at championship level. You know, it's interesting. You know, that's what I look at here, and I'm going to even make a real interesting one. You know, I was looking around the other day. You know, partly because I was doing the All These Two Investigates, but Max Gradle, you know, someone like that. You know, look, he's playing in League One for a mid-table League One team. League One in France, by the way, which is the French Premier League, and he's still got it. You know, I've got to say, he's still got it. I'd much rather do that than sign someone inexperienced, inconsistent, and unproven. That's just my personal opinion on it. I'm going to read through your comments as well. So let's have a look. I'll have to get those Fisherman's Friends soon. Tiger Seal, Oscar, you are making me cough now. I can only apologise for that. Brody Sinclair, has Ibai Gomez gone to Bilbao? And you know, Ibai Gomez was who I wanted, but yes, as far as I'm aware, that one has gone through. As has Steven Zuber as well. Someone else who's proven experience, got experience at this level as well. You know, he's been linked to, but he's gone to Stuttgart as well on loan. So that one's not going to go through either. Let's have a look. Marcus May, Fisherman's Friends, how old are you? 80, only joking, lol. I have heard of Fisherman's Friends, I think I've had like a packet, I think. But as far as I'm aware, Fisherman's Friends are still a thing. You know, this might be cool and that lot. Richard Barnaby, imagine minus 15 points, imagine the solidarity, go up in the player final, who wants players in the playoffs? I mean, it's a fair point. You know, I mean, that is probably the most positive way of looking at it, but would it really, really, really derail us? I mean, you can only imagine Marcelo Bielsa, who sticks to his principles, what his response to be would be something like that, but I mean, if it's as much as that, I mean, if it's anything more than minus 3 points, I mean, if we get any points deduction, for me, I mean, the chat has now gone from Joe's beard to treatment for my cough now. But this is what we want on all these TV, a variety of chats and that lot. But I've just seen the comments flashing through. We've now gone to discussing my cough, which is fair enough. I will go through the comments and I'll let you know which treatment works the best. But yeah, I mean, you'd have to hope that the sea sense. You know, as I've said on the review, you know, when it was all being talked about at the time, when it's all really fresh and felt relevant, you know, there's no actual rule against spying, if you like. There's no actual rule against it. You know, it's on a public footpath. They asked him to leave, he left. You know, and I heard Frank Lampard say that he was apparently there in August as well. Nothing's been confirmed on that. You know, as far as I'm concerned, that's a ridiculous thing to say. You know, just suddenly come out with that. But I don't know, maybe it did happen, maybe it didn't happen. But for me, you can't, I don't think you can suspend, ban, fine, take points off anyone when it's not in the specific rules. If they don't use that as an example, they say, right, no one under any uncertain circumstances can do that. You know, no one can spy. You know, from that, and fair enough. You know, if they decide that, and then anyone does spy, this is what's going to happen. You can't just say, oh, you've done this, this is going to be the punishment. The punishment has to be there in place. You know, it's just, you know, what kind of standards are we setting really? You know, he's saying that, you look at Derby, you look at Martin Wycombe in that last minute of the game, you know, where he looked like he put in a pretty horrendous challenge on Pontus Jansson. He didn't like he had any intention of playing the ball. He gets away scot-free. You know, he could seriously damage a player. You know, he could injure a player. You know, Pontus Jansson went down. Look, strong tackles are part of the game, but you know, what kind of standards are we setting if we're saying it's okay to go out and try and deliberately injure someone else's player? You know, I don't want to get into it too much, but you know, if we're saying that it's perfectly fine to try and injure someone else's player, get away with a booking or whatever, it's just, I was bored of it, to be honest with you. You know, it's bored of it. If it's not part of the rules, how can you possibly, you know, try and threaten something like that? You know, point deductions, etc., etc. You know, it's one of those. But that's all I've got, the view on it I've got. You know, I think there's a lot worse things happening in football. Time wasting. You know, specifically in games, time wasting. You know, I think you can even say, you know, the treatment officials getting that lot. I'd probably say that is worse. And trying to deliberately injure players, you know, taking just tactical fouls and all that. I'd say that is worse in football than what Marcelo Bielsa did. And the fact he admitted to it as well. And not having all this about Frank Lampard, you know, we know, you know, it's been, you know, Andrew Villas-Boas just said, you know, he was effectively doing that same job for Jose Mourinho. There was nothing wrong with that. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Well, don't start denying it, you know. And even if he wasn't aware of it, you know, it's been announced it happened pretty much years ago. But there we go. That's my feeling on it. You know, I don't think there's any real solid feeling there, but you know, that's the thing. Yeah, but we'll wait and see how that one plays out. But for me, you know, maybe use it as an example. But I don't think you can go any further than that. That's just my personal opinion on that issue. Barkers, I think we'll get 10 points. The EFL are shitting themselves if we leave. We're their cash cow. Interesting one. I mean, you know, it's, I can't really say anything like that on the video. Really, you know, it's, you know, when you look at ourselves, and you think we are worth a lot to that football league. You know, us Villa, you know, you probably won't want the losers. They probably want Newcastle back. They probably do want the bigger teams. But I don't know. There's a lot to debate about whether the football is corrupt and that lot. You know, I think in the past, you know, around 2006, 2007, 2008, we got the points deduction. Yeah, I think it was excessive at the time. But we did go against the rules, you know, around that time. It's just there's no consistency, I don't think, with the punishments and that lot. Yeah, there isn't. You know, there's no consistency at all. I think Luton got minus 30 points at one point. There's no real precedent being set, you know, in terms of, you know, if you do this, you get this taken off. That's what frustrates me. It's the inconsistency of things in this league. You know, I think there's another example as well. Tim Closer swore on TV, nothing happened. Fair enough. Michael Hefferler swore on TV when Huddersfield beat Leeds. Fair enough. Passion. Pontus Jansson swears on TV, gets a fine. It's beyond me. Really. Charlie Austin makes comments about the referee in a post-match interview, calling the referee a joke and all that lot. Gets nothing. Pontus Jansson makes comments, gets a ban. There's no consistency at all. But it's just it's poor for me. We maybe are we are worth a lot to the Football League, but I don't know. It's just not worth debating it really. For me, it's whether we're what the reasons are behind it. It's one of those. Mike Turetsky from MOT from the Tel Aviv Whites. Thank you very much. We have had a couple of viewers from Israel actually. We have had a couple of viewers messages and that lot. I think Israel, Argentina, in terms of like international, all these TVs if you like. Israel, Argentina, Mexico. I think we've had a few off as well, and it's absolutely fantastic. That does actually give us a proper buzz. When we get the that real Argentinian interest at the start of the season, that was massive. It shows the size of Marcelo Bielsa to this football club, and it's massive. It's great to see comments like that. That is absolutely superb. To be honest with you, things like that. Kevin also, Oscar, is KIKO Casillas our marquee signing? Most definitely for me. I think it's the definition of marquee. From Real Madrid, top goalkeeper, won trophies, experience, fits the bill perfectly. For me, it'd be an absolutely massive signing for us. Okay. I'm getting the blame now for everyone else coughing. I'm not having that. It's I don't know. I don't know why I'm coughing so much. I've not coughed pretty much all day. It just seems to happen when I go live. You just start coughing. I don't know if that's nerves. I don't know. Never mind. Anyway. Ryan McDermott, you can guarantee they'll try to make an example of us. I'm bracing myself for a deduction. I just don't want to even think about it. They might well do. They probably will do. Let's be honest. It's I think a lot of what happens with the Football League is that they do it for me in the wrong order. There's bad things have happened. Teams have let themselves get in debt. Took the piss a little bit of financial fair play, but I just don't understand how it works. Aston Villa last season, got into financial fair play trouble. Nothing really happened. Brighton, I think a couple of seasons before that. Derby, I've not really seen any. I don't really know the purpose of financial fair play. I just don't really know what the rules are. But there you go. Mike Turetsky, do you think Forshaw or Phillips will be Bielsa's choice for defensive midfield after Calvin's suspension? I still expect it to be Calvin Phillips. I think really. There's loads of options there, but I think Calvin Phillips is his man in that position. I think Adam Forshaw, he sees Adam Forshaw as being someone who can play further forward, keep possession high up the pitch, do the simple stuff really well, press high up the pitch, have that energy, have that pressing ability and that lot. So for me, I'd probably say Calvin Phillips. And it's debatable then. I think Adam Forshaw probably does play further up. I think we probably do see, first choice 11, Adam Forshaw, Mateusz Klich playing further up ahead of Calvin Phillips, and then Clark Hernandez out wide, or maybe Alioski and Hernandez, if you want to use Clark as an impact player, or Harrison and Hernandez. It's interesting, there's a lot of options, that's good. You've got people like Izzy Brown to come into the fray. Where's Izzy Brown going to play? He's going to play out wide, he's going to play in a 10, he's going to play in a traditional centre mid. It's interesting. It's great to have options. And that's the thing. When we get our players back from injury, it's not so much going to massively impact on the starting 11, but it gives us the bench. I said that against Derby. Again, Joe picked on me again for saying that our bench isn't as strong as Derby's, and for me, I still believe that. Even when we lost the game, you can't just rely on your starting 11. There's games where it's going to go wrong, where you're going to miss chances, it's going to be 0-0. Team's going to drop back, especially against us at the minute. Team's going to try and drop back. You need that option off the bench, somebody you can confidently look at and say he'll change the game for me. Whether it's going to be taking on a player winning the ball back or whatever. You know, you just have to have someone on that bench who you can say he might score, he might do something in the game that's going to change the direction of the game. I don't think we had that against Derby. That was a slight worry. But with players going back in, people like Patrick Bamford, people like Berra, people like Izzy Brown, it's massive for us. You know, Gary Keith makes the point of we might see a 4-2-3-1 with KP and Forshaw in the 2. Yeah, I mean that is a possibility. But for me, you know, in terms of the 10, I think the only sort of out and out 10 we have at the club now, with Izzy Brown still, you know, not fully match fit, is probably Pablo. I'm not a massive 4-2-3-1 fan, for being honest. You know, I think it's sort of, I don't think it's as effective as it was sort of 2 or 3 years ago. You know, I don't think it, you know, it used to be the go-to formation, but I think a lot of managers prefer 4-3-3 or 4-1-4-1. Something a bit more fluid, allows an attacking front three, you know, allows players to push forward and all that lot. And yeah, and you get also more control of the game. You also outnumber the midfield and that lot. Because a 4-2-3-1 becomes a 4-2-4 far too often. They're holding 2, stay back with the other attacking 4, push forward too much. It creates space, and it's quite easy to play through at times, I think. But it is an option. You know, it's good to have options, but for me, that isn't what I'd look at. If I'm being totally honest, I wouldn't be surprised if we go 4-2-3-1 because that was Bielsa's go-to formation at Bilbao. I think we've not really seen 4-2-3-1 yet, and I can't see it, if I'm being honest. But we'll wait and see. But I think we did see a bit of it against QPR. Tyler Roberts played in the 10. It didn't work so well. Yeah, I don't think it really worked so well. But it's an option. You know, I'm not saying Bielsa. That's not part of Bielsa's thinking. They're going for sure. Phillips, Click, etc., etc. We never know. So let's wait and see. James Cole, no Kyle Bartley. He looks shocking this season. To be honest with you, I was probably one of the main people who was passionate about bringing Kyle Bartley back to the football club, and I have to say he's not even getting in the West Brom team at the minute. You know, Mason Holgate's come in, started ahead of Kyle Bartley straight away. You know, obviously Kyle Bartley is a good player, but maybe he's not quite as good as what I thought he was. You know, he was a top player for Leeds. You know, to get that right, he was a top player for Leeds in that season. He's a proper leader. He gave us something we haven't had for years. Top player, but it just doesn't happen through at West Brom, and that's the risk sometimes you take. Wow. Well, if you'd have told me, or anyone, at the start of the season, that Liam Cooper would be outperforming Kyle Bartley, no matter what teams they're in, I don't think anyone would have believed that. But that just shows, you know, Bielsa. The one person, possibly one of the few people who saw that. I saw Bielsa, saw what he saw in pre-season. He was so vital that pre-season. You know, some of the stuff that built early on. You know, and he just saw Liam Cooper as his man. Absolutely fair play to him. You know, and I don't think anyone else would have gone for that. If you had a choice between Kyle Bartley and Liam Cooper in June last year, I'd be surprised if 90% wouldn't have gone for Kyle Bartley. It just shows the way things go. You can never ever predict anything when a signing happens and that lot. NA has said, won't we have a Jamal Lowe from Portsmouth? And for me, you know, I've not seen loads of Jamal Lowe. He's scored 10 goals this season. But you know, it's for me, it's similar to Daniel James and that. Like, you know, I just don't think you know what you're going to get. You know, if he doesn't settle in, if he feels pressure, it could be money wasted. It could be a signing wasted, or we could have brought in a more experienced player. But I saw the link, and I think, you know, maybe in the future, maybe as he's got a bit more experience in that lot. But for me, at the moment, I won't go for that type of sign. That's the type of sign of what's the Seals make in kind of the summer and that lot. I don't think that's the kind of January. For me, I don't think that's the kind of sign you make in January. I think in January, you look at what your problems are, and you get in players where you know what's going to happen with them. I think that's what you got to do. And Tiger Steel, Paddy's back in a week or two anyway. And that's a very good point. You know, being linked with strikers and that lot. I don't think we need a striker. I think that's probably the last thing we need at the minute. You know, we've got Kamaru leading the line up front. Or was it 15 goals this season? He's missed almost a third of the season. Tyler Roberts as well, who's proved himself. Patrick Bamford looks like he'll score from anywhere, and he's really going to knock on the door for being that first choice striker for me. Jack Clark can play in that position. Jack Harrison can play in that position. For me, that's the last thing we need at the minute, striker. You know, I don't think you can improve on what we've got in the minute, unless we spend mega money. But I'd rather see that mega money go on somewhere else, go on someone else in that lot. I just spotted one of Danny Winters there. Heard about Ben O'Lynn. There we go. Another classic one. Ben O'Lynn. Heard about Ben O'Lynn. Any thoughts, Oscar? I don't know. He's not quite. You remember what the guy was called now yesterday? He's not quite as proven as Phil McCracken. We've got to say that. You know, he's scored a couple more goals, but no, it's. I'm not falling for that one, mate. Let's say, Jackie Babs, what have I started? This is your fault, mate. This is your fault. No one's going to beat that Phil McCracken thing. I can challenge anyone throughout January. If anyone can beat that Phil McCracken one, fair play. You know, absolutely fair play. But I doubt it. But yeah, I think. Any other comments there? Jamie Shackleton's been mentioned as well. You know, Jamie Shackleton's a great option in this team. Sorry, Demar Facey is actually correcting me there. 14 goals for Kemal Roof this season. Sorry, I thought it was 15. It got a bit carried away, but he will get 50. He will get 15. Hopefully on Saturday as well against Stoke. But for me, you know, I think it's clear now. You know, looking at what we need to sign. Let's see some of that. It's either thinking. Right, I'm going to be better off just not reading out any of these like jokey ones. I mean, Jackie Babs challenge accepted. If it's Jackie Babs who can beat this, absolutely fair play. Oh gee, I can't even risk reading these out. You know, I'm trying to. Most of them I have got straight away. Some of them I'm like, what's that? I'm like, I'm not going to read it. You know, I'm going to get it as soon as I read it out. So, right. Anyway, what do we need? You know, you look at after the goalkeeper. I think you look at the defence to say it's pretty much fine at the minute. You know, got players who can play right back. Aileen, Shackleton are options there. Centre backs, Berardi, Janssen, Cooper. Left backs, Douglas, Adioski, Pierce, Leif Davis. Holding midfield, Carl Phillips, Adam Forshaw play there. James Shackleton can play there. Centre midfielders, Matthias Click, Pablo Hernandez, Adam Forshaw. Izzy Brown potentially. Wingers, Jack Harrison, Jack Clark, Janowski. I think that's the one position where I think, other than Jack Clark, to be fair, Janowski was a lot. He was superb, simply superb against Derby. I think he's been in really good form, but a lot of it's coming from him playing at left back or deeper in that line. I think that's more his position. If I'm being honest, I think more comments coming through. I'm going to read through these and I'm going to let you know which one's the best. So I do the preview for the Stoke game as well. Some of these are so bad, guys. I mean, some of these are Robin Banks, that lot. Oh, jeez, some of these. Some of them are really good, to be fair, but some of them I can't really. Some of these coming through. Keep them coming anyway. Keep them coming. But yeah, make sure you look at the comments as well while I'm speaking. You know, you'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean when you see some of these going through. Lick my donga, Jesus. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. You know what we bring in. You know, I'm hoping at least 2 signings. You know, I hope we at least solve that problem with the goalkeeper and winger situation. And that's all I think we need. You know, I don't want us to upset the apple cart. I just want to make 2 intelligent pieces of investment. George LUFC, Oscar, would you prefer Dan James or Jefferson Montero? It's hard, to be honest with you. It's really hard because I've seen plenty of Jefferson Montero. I've seen him play, putting some absolutely incredible performances. I think in Chelsea a couple of years ago against Arsenal, where he completely, utterly had Arsenal in the grip of his hands. You know, he dominated them that lot. And then, you know, Chelsea as well, he put in top performances. He puts in top performances. When he's on it, when he's playing at his absolute best, he's a top 7, top 8 Premier League player, absolutely no doubt about it. We don't see that enough of Jefferson Montero. I mean, he's had some class games this season. I think he came on against Millwall, earlier on in the season, completely changed the game. Swansea were down to 10 men, came on, they won the game. And then you look at Dan James, he's got a little bit more end product at the moment this season. Looks like he's in better form, he's a bit younger. I'd probably go Dan James if we were going down that route, one of those two. I guess it does weaken one of our rivals. But yeah, I'd go for one of those as well. Right, I can't read any. I can't read some of these. I'm gutted, but I can't read some of these. I mean, some of them are like just downright, just outrageous. But yeah, Henry LUFC, Spurs want Clark for 10 mil. I have seen that rumour. I can't see it at the moment, but he's a Pochettino type of player. Someone who probably would fit in quite well. Not now, obviously. I don't think he's quite ready for that step up. But in a couple of years, maybe he could. But we've just got to put ourselves in the best position. We've got to probably get that contract situation sorted with Jack Clark, and with pretty much all our young players. No Jamie Shackleton signed a new contract at the start of the season. But yeah, we'll wait and see on that as well. It's but I think, guys, I'm going to see if any other comments. Henry LUFC, I think when he's older, like 24, he could be worth 60 to 100 mil. I think that's a fair point. I think it'd be daft. Even if we need the money, it'd be daft to start at this stage. I think economically, I think if we get to the Premier League and that lot, he'd be worth a lot more. If we had to sell, from that point of view, it's not clever. I think selling now or in the summer even, it's. I just don't want to sell him at all. But at the end of the day, we've got to be realistic. I think. It's. If he carries on progressing like he has, it's one of those, enjoy him while he's here. It's the same as Lewis Cook, it's the same as Charlie Taylor, Fabian Delph, James Milner. You saw the talent they had, and I think Jack Clark's well up there in terms of age as well. How well he's done, the situation he's been thrown into, top of the table, and all the games are mean and stuff as well. But yeah, that's my opinion on this anyway. I wouldn't sell now. I hope we don't sell. I think it'd be absolutely madness if we sold now. Hero at Leeds, bench warmer at Spurs, Danny Winters. I just don't think Jack Clark would want to move. I think he's, obviously, as far as I'm aware, Ian Hart is part of his agency. I think met Ian Hart, absolutely top guy. I think Ian Hart's going to advise him well. He's got a good advisor there in Ian Hart. He's going to get the absolute best in terms of Jack Clark's career. I think at the moment, it is Leeds at the minute. I think that is the best for his career. But, it's one of those. It might well happen in the future. But yeah, he can be a hero at Leeds. If he gets us up this season, he'll be a hero at Leeds. What 18-year-old lad has almost spearheaded a promotion push? I can't remember the last time at this level that's happened. You probably said Gareth Bale at Southampton. It's the last one I can think of. Even then, he was playing at left back. So, it's years, I think, since we've seen a talent like this at Leeds. An attacking talent as well. So we've seen people like Lewis Cook and Fabian Delph. But in terms of an attacking player, it's been said for quite a long time. Since Alan Smith left the club, we haven't had someone who's progressed as a striker at the football club or a creative player. I think the closest we've come is probably Alex Marriot. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work for Alex Marriot. I was a massive Alex Marriot fan. But we'll wait and see anyway. I'll leave it there, guys, anyway. Make sure you check out my All These Three Investigate video tomorrow. It's going to be going through the promotion season and the tactics behind it, the key games, the key moments. I'm going to be using, we've got the great Glenn Snowden as well. To give us a bit of an insight into the season as well. Some interesting stuff in there as well. I've been Oscar Marriott anyway. Make sure you keep those comments coming in. See if we can beat Phil McCracken. We haven't done yet. From what I've seen, we haven't quite done that yet. So Jaggy Babs is still the leader, if you want that. But yeah, I don't think we've beaten that yet. Make sure you keep those comments coming in, and you check out Transfer Tuesdays next week. And if you haven't done already, make sure you check out Talking Short as well. The quality one today, the quality one last week. We've had the Pope. They've got some quality guests coming on, including the All These TV lot. They've got the great Joe Wainman coming on, and the great Conor, and the not so great me as well. But yeah, that's in 2 weeks' time as well. Make sure you check them out. There'll be a link in the description for that too. I've been Oscar Marriott. Thanks so much for watching. See you later. Jackie Bam, see you, mate. Sorry, there is nothing to be sorry for, Jackie. That was absolutely quality that yesterday. I mean, it was probably one of the funniest moments I think we've had on All These TV so far. Tiger Steel, Oscar, you are the main man. I appreciate that, mate, but I'm not sure on that. I'm not sure on that. It's Barkers, thank you, Oscar. Cheers, mate. Clive Brindley, cheers, Oscar. Get some Corvonia. I just remember the advert on that with the bull and that lot. That's why I'm sort of giggling that lot. But yeah, cheers for the call stream. I don't know, whatever. But I've been Oscar Marriot. Make sure you check out Joe Wainman's Monday Night Football, Conor's preview, Joe's preview, my preview, and Conor's Friday Night Football. It's another big, busy week as well coming up. Appreciate all the comments, guys. All these aren't